had this monetary goal since I was 15 years old. I didn't even know I was going to be a dentist yet, but I thought like the height of success was going to be if I can accumulate $1 million in cash. And if I was making $1 million per year. This is young, 15-year-old, naive, arbitrary goal I just put out there. And it's interesting how long that goal stuck with me. I gave myself 20 years to accomplish the goal. It actually took me 23 years to accomplish it. And at that point, I had been in dentistry for 7 years. And I looked up, I remember the day that I got the tax return and I realized, holy cow, I finally accomplished my goal 3 years late, but I accomplished it. I made $1 million that year. I was looking at my tax return. I had $1 million in the bank. And I remember shutting the laptop going, oh my gosh, I've never been more unhappy in my life. Like that was the only gauge that I ever had to success was this $1 million goal. And so I sold 4 of my 6 dental practices at the time. And I went about trying to reestablish some sort of a foundation where I could feel more fulfilled. So I took the remaining 2 practices and I completely restructured the way that we did things. I put a nice set of systems in place. I delegated out. I hired a leadership team and we started from scratch again. But also I created this matrix called the 4 futures. It's mind, meaning, muscle, and money. And the mindfulness quadrant was, how do you speak to yourself? What's your internal dialogue? What is your ability to handle stress? That was the mindfulness quadrant. The meaning quadrant was your legacy piece, just kind of like smile outreach or your personal relationships. How strong are those? Just rate yourself. And then muscle is your personal kind of fitness, vibrancy, how the fuel that you put into your body, how much movement do you get? How tired do you feel at the end of the day? How well are you sleeping? That's the muscle quadrant. And then of course, money. So if I was to assess myself back then, I would have gotten a 0 out of 10 in all the other quadrants, but a 10 out of 10 in the money quadrant. Mm-hmm. So clearly you can call me a successful person because I was failing in 3 of my 10 quadrants. So now that's kind of a way that an objective way that we use in order to help people figure out where they are, not just in the money quadrant, but in all of the quadrants of their life.